You walk into the massive warehouse store for a rotisserie chicken and some toilet paper. You have a plan. You have a list. You are going to be in and out in 20 minutes. 2 hours later, you are walking to your car. Your cart is overflowing with a paddleboard and a gallon of mayonnaise and 48 rolls of paper towels and a flat-screen television. The cashier just charged you $400. You sit in your car and look at the receipt. You tell yourself you just saved so much money. You tell yourself you are a smart shopper. But your bank account is empty and you still need to buy groceries for the week. Here is something that should be mathematically impossible. The people who spend the most time and energy trying to save money on everyday items are often the ones who struggle the most to build actual wealth. You are buying in bulk. You are chasing deals. You are paying annual membership fees to access exclusive warehouses. You think you are beating the system. But the system is mathematically designed to beat you. My name is Eddie, and today we are going to do something the retail industry and the discount warehouses genuinely prefer you not do. We are going to run the real math on your bulk shopping habits. We are going to explain exactly how the pursuit of saving money is keeping you financially trapped. Hit subscribe if you want to keep running the real numbers. Let us get into it. The human brain is a terrible financial advisor. It is completely wired for immediate gratification and survival. When you see a discount, your brain does not process a long-term financial strategy. It processes a victory. It processes dopamine. You see a massive bottle of shampoo that costs $20. The regular bottle at the local grocery store costs $6. But the massive bottle is 4 times the size. The unit price is lower. Your brain tells you that you are making a genius move. You are saving money per ounce. You buy the massive bottle. But here is the reality of the situation. You did not save money. You spent $20. You traded liquid cash for illiquid shampoo. This is the fundamental lie of bulk buying. We have confused the act of spending money at a lower unit cost with the act of actually saving money. Saving money happens when money stays in your bank account or an investment portfolio. Spending less than you could have spent is not saving. It is just spending. The retail industry understands this psychological vulnerability perfectly. They have built an entire business model around it. They know that if they can convince you that you are saving money, you will gladly spend every dollar you have. The warehouse club model is the ultimate expression of this trap. You walk in and everything feels like a massive opportunity. The concrete floors and the exposed steel beams make it feel like a wholesale environment. It feels like you have bypassed the retail middleman. You're getting the insider price, but you are not the insider. You are the mark. The entire environment is engineered to make you feel like a savvy investor, while you fill your cart with consumer goods that depreciate the second you walk out the door. People brag about their warehouse hauls. They post videos showing all the things they bought. They talk about how much they saved compared to regular grocery stores. But they never talk about the opportunity cost of that cash. They never talk about the fact that they just locked up $300 in paper goods and frozen snacks that will sit in a garage for 6 months. Let us start with the barrier to entry. The membership fee. You pay $60 or $120 a year just for the right to walk through the doors. The moment you pay that fee, the psychology changes. You have made an investment, and human beings are biologically programmed to want a return on their investments. This introduces the sunk cost fallacy into your grocery shopping. You think to yourself that you need to shop there, often to make the membership fee worth it. You drive past 3 regular grocery stores to get to the warehouse store. You burn gas and you burn time. You go in specifically because you feel an obligation to extract value from that upfront cost. The warehouses know this. They collect billions of dollars in membership fees before they even sell a single product. Those fees account for the vast majority of their actual profit. They sell the goods at razor-thin margins because the goods are just the bait. The membership fee is the real business. You are paying them for the privilege of letting them sell you things you did not plan to buy. Think about how insane that is in any other context. Imagine paying a restaurant a monthly fee just for the right to look at their menu. But we do it for bulk retail because we are convinced the math works out in our favor. So you go to the store to justify the membership. You walk in to buy milk and eggs, but you cannot just buy milk and eggs. The milk is at the very back of the store. To get there, you have to walk past the electronics, and the seasonal items and the clothing and the baked goods. You see a massive pack of muffins. You see a set of mixing bowls. You tell yourself that you will need these eventually. You put them in the cart. You are extracting value. You are justifying the $60 fee. By the time you get to the register, you have spent $250. You saved perhaps $4 on the milk and eggs compared to the local store. You spent $246 on things you did not know you needed until you saw them. You are stepping over dollars to pick up pennies. And you are doing it with a smile on your face, because the unit economics feel like a victory. Now we need to talk about the physical reality of bulk buying. We need to talk about the spoilage tax. When you buy food in massive quantities, you are entering a race against time. You buy a giant bag of spinach. It looks beautiful. It is so much cheaper per ounce than the small bag at the local market. You take it home. You eat a salad on Monday. You eat a salad on Tuesday. By Thursday, the bottom half of the bag has turned into a dark green sludge. You throw it away. You just threw away the savings. You actually paid a premium for the salads you did eat because half the product went into the garbage. This happens in millions of households every single week. The average American family throws away 30% of the food they buy. When you buy in bulk, that 30% represents a massive amount of wasted capital. You are essentially paying a tax on your ambition to be a healthy, frugal person. The warehouse stores know exactly what the spoilage rates are. They package perishable goods in quantities that are mathematically impossible for a normal family to consume before expiration. They do not care if you eat the spinach. They only care that you bought the massive bag. But the spoilage tax is not just about food going bad. It is also about the rate of consumption. This is a behavioral economics concept that destroys the bulk buying argument entirely. Studies show that when people have a large inventory of a product in their home, they consume it faster. If you have one box of cereal in the pantry, you pour a normal bowl. You are careful not to waste it. If you have 4 giant boxes of cereal from the warehouse store, you pour massive bowls. You let the kids spill it. You snack on it dry. The abundance changes your behavior. You use more laundry detergent per load when you have a massive jug. You use more paper towels for a spill when you have 40 rolls in the garage. You are not saving money by getting a lower price per unit. You are just increasing your consumption to match the available supply. You are running a mini fulfillment center out of your house, but you do not have the inventory management skills of a major corporation. You are just eating more and wasting more. You are turning liquid capital into excess consumption. There is another layer to this trap that almost nobody factors into their budget. The phantom cost of storage. Where are you putting all of this stuff? You buy 40 rolls of toilet paper and 80 bottles of water and massive bags of dog food. You need physical space to keep it all. People literally buy larger houses with bigger pantries and larger garages, just so they can store their bulk purchases. They upgrade their living situation to accommodate their shopping habits. They buy secondary refrigerators and deep freezers to hold all the bulk meat and frozen pizzas. Let us run the real math on that second refrigerator. You buy a cheap freezer for $300. It costs you about $5 a month in electricity to run it. That is $60 a year. Over 10 years, that freezer costs you $900 in electricity and purchase price. How much money are you really saving on frozen chicken breasts to justify a $900 infrastructure investment? You are building capital-intensive supply chains for your suburban household. The square footage in your house is expensive. If you are paying $200 a square foot for your home and you dedicate 10 square feet to storing bulk items, you have allocated $2,000 of real estate to hold $60 of household supplies. It makes absolutely zero financial sense. But we do it because it feels like preparation. It feels like security. Having a garage full of supplies makes us feel safe against inflation and uncertainty. But the most powerful defense against inflation is not a garage full of paper towels. It is a large balance in an investment account. Cash gives you options. Groceries give you an expiration date. Let us look at what this actually looks like in a real-life scenario. We will call her Sarah. Sarah is 34 years old. She is a teacher. She is incredibly responsible with her money. She reads personal finance blogs. She tracks her expenses. She wants to be smart. Sarah has a membership to a major warehouse club. Every 2 weeks she goes on what she calls a stock-up run. She budgets $150 for these trips, but she never actually spends $150. This Saturday she walks in with her list. She needs paper towels and chicken and coffee. She gets the massive pack of paper towels for $22. She gets the bulk chicken for $25. She gets the giant tub of coffee for $15. That is $62. She is doing great. But then the retail psychology takes over. She walks down the aisle with the snacks. She sees a massive box of protein bars. They are on sale. The sign says limit 4 per customer. That limit creates artificial scarcity. It triggers a panic response in her brain. She feels like she is missing out on a rare opportunity if she does not buy them. She puts a box in her cart. That is $20. She turns the corner and sees a display of athletic wear. The brand name leggings are only $15. She cannot pass that up. She puts them in the cart. She walks past the bakery and the smell of fresh bread breaks down her willpower. She buys a massive pack of croissants for $8. By the time Sarah reaches the register, her total is $240. She went $90 over budget, but the cashier hands her a receipt, and she looks at the bottom where it says she saved $40 today, based on regular retail prices. Sarah feels a surge of pride. She did not overspend by $90. She saved $40. She drives home and finds places to put all this stuff. She puts the extra chicken in the freezer and the protein bars in the pantry. 2 weeks later, she looks at the croissants. Half of them are hard and covered in mold. She throws them away. The protein bars taste like cardboard, and she only eats 3 of them before leaving the box to collect dust. The leggings rip after 2 washes. Let us calculate the real math of the month for Sarah. She does this trip twice a month. She overspends by $90 each time. That is $180 a month of unplanned spending disguised as saving. Over a year, that is $2,160. That money is gone. It was absorbed by impulse buys and spoilage and forced consumption. If Sarah had simply gone to a regular grocery store and bought exactly what she needed for the week, she would have paid slightly higher unit prices. Maybe her necessary items would have cost $70 instead of $62. But she would have walked out spending exactly $70. She would not have bought the protein bars, or the leggings, or the giant pack of croissants. By avoiding the warehouse store completely, Sarah would actually keep more money in her bank account. The higher unit price at the regular store acts as a natural limit on her consumption. It forces her to be intentional. She buys 1 chicken. She cooks 1 chicken. She eats 1 chicken. There is no waste. There is no overflow. There is no artificial scarcity, tricking her into buying things she does not need. The bulk discount is a mathematical illusion that requires you to spend more total dollars to access a lower hypothetical unit cost. The store layout is a masterclass in consumer manipulation. You walk in and the first thing you see is usually massive televisions and expensive electronics. You are not there to buy a television, but seeing a $2,000 item immediately resets your price anchor. Suddenly, a $40 pair of jeans or a $20 block of cheese feels insignificant. Your brain has been primed for large numbers. Then you grab a shopping cart. But it is not a normal shopping cart. It is massive. It is the size of a small boat. This is a deliberate psychological choice. When you put 3 items in a normal cart, it feels full. When you put 3 items in a warehouse cart, it looks completely empty. Your brain feels a subconscious urge to fill the empty space. You feel like you are not getting enough done if the cart is empty. So, you keep adding things. You wander through the aisles. The aisles do not have clear signs. You cannot easily find the ketchup or the toothpaste. This is called the treasure hunt effect. They deliberately move the everyday items around the store. They want you to get lost. They want you to walk down every single aisle trying to find what you need. Because every time you walk down a new aisle, you are exposed to hundreds of unplanned purchasing opportunities. You see a kayak. You see a set of tires. You see a giant jar of pickles. The more time you spend searching for your necessary items, the more likely you are to suffer from decision fatigue and give in to impulse purchases. And then there are the free samples. People love the free samples. They think it is a nice perk of the membership. It is not a perk. It is a psychological weapon. When someone hands you a piece of sausage on a toothpick and smiles at you, your brain registers it as a gift. Human beings are deeply programmed for reciprocity. When someone gives us something, we feel a subconscious obligation to give something back. You feel slightly guilty walking away from the sample person without buying the product. So you put a $15 box of frozen sausages in your cart. You did not even want them, but the psychology of reciprocity overpowered your financial discipline. Finally, you make it to the checkout. You are exhausted. You have spent way more than you intended, but right past the registers is the food court. They are selling a hot dog and a soda for $1.50. They have not changed that price in decades. It is a massive loss leader for the company. They lose money on every single hot dog they sell, but it is the final brilliant piece of the psychological puzzle. You just spent $300 on bulk goods. You might be feeling buyer remorse, but then you get a massive hot dog and a drink for basically nothing. Your brain focuses on that immediate, incredible deal. It erases the pain of the $300 receipt. You walk to your car feeling like a winner because you got a cheap hot dog. You completely ignore the fact that you just drained your checking account for 6 months' worth of laundry detergent. The retail psychologists have hacked your brain from the moment you walked through the door to the moment you drove away. This is the reality of the bulk buying trap. You are playing a game against billionaires and psychologists and data scientists. They know exactly how to make you feel like you are winning while they empty your pockets. Every institution with a financial stake in your consumption has a structural incentive to convince you that spending money is the same thing as saving money. Nobody earns a commission when you put $100 into an index fund instead of buying a giant box of snacks. If you truly want to build wealth, you have to break the volume to value illusion. You have to start calculating the real cost of your purchases. You must factor in the membership fee. You must factor in the spoilage tax. You must factor in the increased consumption rate and the opportunity cost of the cash tied up in your pantry. The math does not lie. Buying exactly what you need when you need it is the better financial strategy. It keeps your money liquid. It prevents waste. It stops the cycle of impulse buying. Next time you are tempted to buy the massive package, ask yourself a simple question. Am I buying this because I actually need it today, or because I want the dopamine hit of a good deal? Run the real numbers before you put it in the huge cart. Understanding exactly why the system is designed to trap you is the first step toward making a decision that actually works for you instead of just participating in collective financial insanity, because everyone around you insists that buying in bulk is the right move. Now you know the truth, invest the difference. Let compounding do what warehouse stores will never do. Work to build real lasting wealth. Drop a like if this helped. It genuinely makes a difference.